Hello, Youth in Government. I'm Phaedra Neitzel, and this is KYNG-TV Eyewitness News. Today's joint session proved to be an exciting event, with California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger speaking to youth in government delegates. The governor discussed his personal journey to fame, his political career, and spoke inspiring words to the delegates. Reporter Autumn Williams covered the session.
Thank you, Governor Schwarzenegger, and as a small token of our gratitude, we would like to present you with our commemorative book, bill book, program schedule, and a small gift. Thank you.
What's your opinion on the California Youth Government program?
I think it's a great idea because it gets kids involved early on to make them think about public service, to make them think about the various different areas that you can do public service. If it is like you have here, people that are acting out to be judges or lawyers or to be legislators and lobbyists and all of those things, governor and all those things, I think it's terrific. And I think that this is a program that will be terrific all over the world. And you can see the enthusiasm here, and it makes people, get engaged and then start thinking about in which direction they want to go in order to reach out and help people, because that's what it's about. It is to help people to become a public servant, and I think being a public servant is the greatest thing you can do.
What advice do you have for our government's future leaders that may be in this room?
I think the advice is to be, as I said earlier, to be daring, to be courageous, and not to always look at the limits, but to be able to take risks, to be able to take risks knowing that you could fail, but to do it anyway. Because the only way that we know how far we can go is by being able to take those risks and being, and acknowledging that there could be failure. So I think that is the important thing.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Two of today's most important events involved lunch. Here's Jasmine Menard with more information on the VIP and lobbyist luncheons.
Today, we decided to find out what's for lunch. First, we went to the VIP luncheon where I got to interview Secretary of State Bruce McPherson. What does your position do as Secretary of State? What is your job?
Well, principally I'm the administrator of the elections in the state of California. We have 16 million registered voters, and there are another 6 million people in California who are eligible to register who are not registered. And I'm encouraging the YMCA members and their officers to help me get those people registered and participate in our democracy. And as well, we are very involved in the business of California. We handle 1 million business documents a year, corporations, limited liability companies, and the like. And now I'm very interested in seeing how we can improve the trade with international countries throughout the world and make California even more important in that trade arrangement that we have with many other countries.
And what prompted you to speak at this luncheon?
I have come to the YMCA events for many years. I was a board member here, and when I was in the legislature, I served 2 terms in the Assembly and 2 terms in the Senate. And I just think this is where it's at. This is the leadership of tomorrow, literally. And the respect, trust, and dignity that you have for one another, and your interest and your innovation to get things done is to be commended. I really do commend the YMCA for everything it does.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Later, we went to the 15th floor of the Hyatt where I found out what the lobbyists were doing for lunch. Hello, delegates. I'm here with Tim Kordich, who's part of the lobbyist program. Now, what exactly do you do with the lobbyist program, and how long have you been doing it?
Well, actually, I started in the lobbyist program as a delegate years and years ago, and then moved up to advisor, and now I'm actually the program staff with the lobbyist program. So I've been the program staff for about 8 years now.
Hi, I'm here at the lobbyist luncheon with Robin Moss, a lobbyist. Now, Robin, what do you think the purpose of this luncheon is?
To talk to other people, other legislatures about their bills and other things.
Christine, what do you think the purpose of the lobbyist luncheon is?
The purpose of the lobbyist luncheon is to invite a guest, an assembly member or a Senate member, to lunch and to discuss the bills that you are lobbying for, to get them to sway your way to vote a certain way for the bill.
This has been Jasmine Menard with YNG TV.
Skirts, slacks, neckties, and nylons are basic necessities of youth and government attire. Running in and out of the Convention Center and Capitol building, delegates are dressing the part of true professionals. Since the Youth and Government program began, there has been a strict business dress code. Although walking around in heels can be a pain, Program Director Rolf Davidson said the dress code played a big part in getting the governor to speak for us. He also stated that if we were to lose the dress code, there would be a loss of magic within the adventure of Sacramento. Here's Melissa Hansen to find out how delegates feel about the dress code.
Hi, I'm here with Bailey Drucker and Dylan Miller. So, how do you feel about the business attire dress code in Sacramento?
I actually really like it. I think it's an opportunity for the delegates to feel more at home at the Capitol, feel like they belong here.
Yeah, it really gives the program a lot more a business influence, and we look a lot more, GQ or legit, whatever you want to call it.
Legit.
And then you can add a little taste, like I like the Aviators, very popular.
So, if you had the chance to change the dress code, what would you change it to?
I don't like that capri pants are not allowed. I also think that it's definitely out of line that they think that all lace is provocative and supposed to be taken sexually. I think that it should be allowed in some cases.
Honestly, for the guys, it's really not a problem. I think all the girls have problems with the dress code, because like the tights, or what do you call them?
Nylons.
Nylons. I just hear a lot of complaints about that, and then guys are just hanging out, having fun.
I feel like there's a lot more restrictions on the girls.
Yeah, I agree.
On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the easiest, how hard was it for you to find clothes to buy for Sacramento?
For me, it was very difficult. I am actually, not going to lie, I'm about the size of a 12-year-old, so not many 12-year-olds wear business clothes, so it was a little bit difficult, but I managed.
Yeah, for me, I had a lot of suits for homecomings and proms and stuff like that, but kind of opposite for you, I'm a lot longer arm length, and so they don't make that many suit jackets that are that long, but it worked out in the end.
How do you feel the dress code affects the program?
Like we said earlier, I think it makes everyone feel a lot more like they belong here. Everyone feels legit, and I just think it makes us feel a lot more like we're doing something big.
Yeah, I agree with Bailey. I mean, if we were sitting in the Senate chambers with wearing jeans and a T-shirt, it makes you feel a lot more involved and like a lot more professional, I guess you could say adult-like too, in the business world. And so it probably brings out more in you too, when you look professional.
Do you feel it gives you more confidence wearing this business attire?
Oh, definitely. It makes me feel like I belong on the assembly floor. It makes me feel like I could be the next senator or assemblyman woman.
Yeah, I agree with that, because they're always walking around in their suits, and so.
We feel studly.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you, delegates.
Where are the governor candidates from last year's race? Paul Gardner III from Culver Palms Family YMCA was elected governor last year and is enjoying his prestigious position. If Paul was not elected governor, he says he would have liked to run for lieutenant governor because he has always been a product of youth and government legislature and would like to remain in direct contact with delegates. Paul says that if he could change anything about the governor's race, he would make the first meeting the candidate round to be far less intense and make it a more intimate way to understand candidates' views and their reasons to become governor. Paul also says that the most enjoyable part of his job is finally being able to participate and view every program area of youth and government, as well as meeting more delegates. Another governor candidate from last year, Senator and Committee Chair Max Ukropina, shared Paul's views and experiences from the previous race.
Max, why did you choose to become a committee chair?
Well, I really enjoyed being just a delegate last year, especially in the legislature, and it was just such an enjoyable experience that I wanted to get even more in depth and more involved in the legislative process while still being a full-fledged legislator and delegate. So I decided to become a committee chair.
If there was one thing that you could change about last year's governor's race, what would it be?
I would change nothing. I had a fantastic time. I met so many great people and learned so much from it, especially about myself. And Paul Gardner, I have 137% faith in him, and he's a great guy, and I'm glad he's our governor.
How do you feel about the current race between the governor candidates?
Well, I'm a little biased about it, but I definitely have to say that Jonathan Hange is the best candidate for the 59th Youth Governor. He's just an all-around amazing person, and he has all the credentials needed. And John Hange all the way. Jonathan Hange. Great guy.
And there you have it, Max Ukropina.
I also spent some time with State Chaplain Kelly Black, another former candidate. Hi, I'm Phaedra Neitzel, and I'm here with Kelly Black. Kelly, what is your current position, and why did you choose to become that?
I'm chaplain this year in YNG, and I kind of was debating whether or not to apply for chaplain or to run for something, and I really, really miss running and like doing the Meet the Candidate sessions, but I chose to be chaplain because it's a really, really like inspiring position. It's just like we kind of walk around, are really happy, hand out candy, try and go in and talk to people and get them really motivated in the program, and that's what I really wanted to do this year. So I thought it was a good position.
Great. So if you can change something about last year's governor's race, anything about the process at all, what would it be?
I think the one thing I would change is that when we first went to Bob 2 and we were campaigning, there was 20 of us, going around to the Meet the Candidate sessions. People got to hear what we had to say, but it was really, really general. And I think when it got narrowed down to the final 3, that we kind of should have had more of those Meet the Candidate sessions and let people get a chance to know us a little bit better before I know we gave a speech, but people didn't really get to see like a lot of what we had to offer. And I think that they would have gotten a lot more out of it if we could have answered some more questions and got to meet a little more people.
So how do you feel about the current race between the governor candidates?
I think it's really, really great. The only thing that I have a problem with is there's no girls. That I think we need to get. Paul is fabulous this year, and he's a great governor. But I mean, we should get some. We should get some girls in there eventually. So I'm hoping next year it's a female.
How do you feel about Arnold coming to speak to us today?
I must say that sitting on the stage behind Arnold, that his biceps looked fabulous. So I felt honored to be sitting behind such a huge, very toned man, and it was great.
And there you have it from Kelly Black herself. There are many places on Sacramento's famous K Street for delegates to grab a quick bite to eat between meetings and sessions. However, food costs can be a burden to youth and government members. So here's Stephanie Pittman with cheaper alternatives to expensive dining.
Seeing the prices of food in hotels may be a little scary, but there are actually a variety of places with cheap, delicious food in Sacramento.
The cheapest way to go is bringing your own food. Many delegates bring food from home or go to the Rite Aid on K Street for food to stash in their rooms. K Street is full of different affordable places to buy food. There are delis, a Subway, a Blimpie, and several sit-down restaurants. Cafe Dolce has great food for all meals and is very YMCA friendly. Cafe Ambrosia, the Pyramid, and Upper Crust Pizza are also very affordable and serve delicious meals. For a quick to-go meal, the Wolfgang Puck Express, conveniently located in the convention center, is inexpensive and offers quick service. Wherever you are in Sacramento, there's sure to be a great meal just around the corner. Thank you. This is Stephanie Pittman, and good night.
Forum is the place to be this year, with sophomore delegates having the opportunity to learn about the Youth in Government program and to take advantage of opportunities to get an idea of what's to come. Here's Carissa Shebb with the inside scoop on what makes Forum so special.
Hey YNG, this is Carissa Shebb reporting from the Hyatt. Forum. What are some of the first things that come to mind when you hear that word?
When I think of Forum, I think of fun.
That everybody's just trying to get to know each other and learn about the program, so we're all just new here and just learning.
Think of all the sophomores, and it's our first year in the program, and I think that it's really cool that we have our own little world to figure out what's going to go on next year, so that when we go into the program next year and the years after, we're going to be a lot more prepared. So
the first thing that comes to mind is like that's the beginning, because we're going to be the future in about 2 years, and basically we're going to be like the future. That's basically about it.
Well, earlier today, I had the opportunity to interview some delegates about how they truly feel about the Forum program. So what is your role in Forum this year?
I'm Forum Speaker of the Assembly, so once we meet starting on Saturday, I will run the Assembly. Get to sit in the big chair. So,
it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So how are you liking it so far?
I'm having an amazing time. I got to come up here a day early on Wednesday. I got to meet all the officers. We all became really good friends. There's 42 of us. I'm having a great experience here.
When you were in Forum, what role were you?
I was a clerk in the prisoners' rights.
Do you feel that the Forum program prepared you well for this year?
I do, because I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And for you, do you regret not doing Forum?
I regret not doing it a lot. I didn't even know about it 10th grade, so I wish I could have gone back and redone it, kind of.
And so when you first joined YNG, did you feel a little bit overwhelmed almost?
Oh yes, I actually even missed the first Bob, so Bob 2 was my very first Bob and very first youth and government engagement, and so I was lost.
Do you feel prepared? Do you feel that forum's really preparing you for the next couple of years?
Yes, actually, yeah, because starting in 10th grade, it develops you each year by step.
And what about next year? What are your plans for next year?
Have a great time, present a bill, and hopefully get passed.
When you first joined YNG, how did you feel?
I felt like it was kind of an interesting program. I mean, still a little alienated socially, but eventually you find your way into it, and you really just discover how great of a program it really is.
And it's not just the delegates that are enthusiastic about the program. I also got to interview Richard Chapin, lead advisor of the forum, and he's just as excited.
I want them to come here and actually have a sense of, okay, I'm really excited to be here, and I want to be here and not, quit after my sophomore year. Because I really didn't do much here. I didn't really do anything until I got to Sacramento. So I want to give them a great experience here and show them that it all begins with you. In your next 2 years, it's up to you to make a difference.
With all the enthusiasm and energy going into the forum program, it's no wonder why it's one of the most memorable years here at YNG. I'm Carissa Sheh, Eyewitness News. Have a good one.
Many delegations have traditions they continue to perform yearly, making each delegation unique. Here's Alexis Georgeson reporting from the Hyatt with a few youth and government members.
Hi delegates, I'm Alexis Georgeson with Eyewitness News. Within YNG, each delegation seems to have their own rituals and traditions performed annually, year by year, to help unite them as a group and welcome new delegates to the program. But have you ever wondered what these traditions are? I'm interviewing a few delegates from certain youth and government delegations and asking them about the rituals that they continue to perform year by year. Tell me a little bit about the traditions of your delegation.
We actually have a few and they're pretty cool. One of them, we get in this big circle near, right before we go to Bob 1, and our lead advisor, or one of our advisors, Marty, he tells a story about us being open, and it's called the open latch story, I guess. And we get in this big circle, and he passes around a string of yarn, and everyone holds on to it, and then we all cut it for each other, and we have it around our wrists, and it's basically to remind us that we should be open to things that are going on around us and open to meeting new people and doing new things throughout our youth and government experience.
First off, we start off the year with a ritual that is very funny. Delegates wait in line for from 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes they spend the night at the Y to sign up because our program is so popular in our area. So they sleep out at the Y to sign up, and in the morning we wake up and have sign-ups at 7 a.m. Also, what we have broom ball events throughout the year, which is basically playing hockey without ice skates.
TFE is like a cluster, so we do a lot of things together as a group. Annually, we do a gift wrapping thing for Christmas time at Borders Books or Barnes & Noble, and we just wrap presents for people. And we always have cluster meetings where we all get together. We'll have a Halloween costume contest and just fun feasts and stuff.
Well, that's it, delegates, for your insight on the traditions of other delegations here at YNG. I'm Alexis Georgeson with Eyewitness News.
In world news, the continuing controversy over the Muhammad cartoons has prompted a Pakistani cleric to offer a $1 million reward in exchange for the death of a cartoonist. In Libya, cartoon protesters left the Italian consulate in flames. At least 9 people are dead and 2 others wounded. Officials are currently working to quell the riots. The recent discovery of the deadly bird flu in wild swans in southern Italy has caused poultry prices to fall by 70%. The government has been asked to provide subsidies for farmers left with unsold poultry. European Union direct support for the poultry is limited because of previous laws stating that poultry doesn't benefit from aid like beef farmers. There will be a meeting of European Union farmers on Monday to discuss the issue of state aid to the poultry sector. In the heart of the Philippines, a mudslide has left 1,500 people dead and all but 375 houses covered in mud. The Philippine President Gloria Arroyo ordered the Navy and Coast Guard to send ships to service hospitals. The government has hired a ship to transport more doctors, medicine, and food. Hey, youth in government, put on your dancing shoes and make sure to get a date for tonight's Governor's Ball. Appropriate attire will be casual, but please dress according to Y appropriate standards. Tomorrow's social event will be an exciting show by a famous hypnotist. Please make sure to exercise your right to vote Saturday night. The polls will open at 6 p.m. at the Convention Center. This is your opportunity to vote for the Governor and Secretary of State candidates, as well as the lobbyists' initiatives. Sunday will be the Governor's Banquet, so please dress in formal attire for the announcement of next year's Youth Governor. This is Phaedra Neitzel for KNY-GTV. Y Witness News. You stay classy, Sacramento.